welcome back. I'm Jenna. It's time to start seeds around here. We are in zone 6B, which means that it's finally time for us to catch up with some of our southern friends and start putting some seeds into the soil. If you have never started seeds indoors, I want to encourage you to start doing it because it's really a great way to get a jump start on the season. We like to get a head start here because we have a really short growing season in Ohio, and if we don't get things kick-started, there's a lot of things that we're actually unable to grow very successfully here. So we are going to hit the ground running, and I'm gonna walk you alongside me as I show you how we go about starting our seeds. One of the first things that you need to determine is what plants need to be started ahead of time indoors and which ones need to be direct sown directly into the ground so that you don't face any kind of weak root systems that just aren't going to transplant very well. We love getting started indoors with things like tomatoes and broccoli. We're going to start some cabbage this year, some peppers, and this year we're for the first time going to try doing onions. I've done some reading and found that you can actually grow a much larger onion if you start them from seed. And so we're going to give that a go, see how it turns out. But we typically buy the onion sets from the store, and it hasn't been a disappointment really. We've had some really good luck with our onions, but this year I'm going to start from seed. So we're gonna get those started today. All right, now based on where you live, you need to determine what your last frost date is for your specific area. It's really simple to do. If you just log onto the internet and you type in last frost date by zip code, you should be able to type in your zip code and it's going to come up with a list that shows you previous years and what those last frost dates are and what your percentage is of chance that you're going to get another freeze before those dates. Now, typically ours gives us a last frost date towards the end of April. So that has become a little bit scary for me because I have based my plant starts on that date several times and it always freezes again. So I have decided that I 100% am not going to go by those dates and I'm going to push it back to Mother's Day. It seems to be much safer in our area. We get really late frost. A lot of times we're actually having our fruit trees bud because we'll get these really warm days and then we'll get another frost. And so a lot of our trees will get no fruit on them because the buds get ruined, and I'm really hoping that that doesn't happen again this year. But we are supposed to get some really warm temperatures next week, and then it's just tricking us. It never stays warm in Ohio through March. It's almost guaranteed we're probably going to get another snowstorm after that, and then we'll be headed into spring. So it tricks us a little bit at this time of year. It's a little bit disappointing, but I just have to be patient and set those dates a little bit further back so that I'm sure that I have plants that are strong and ready to move outside, but that haven't outgrown their space and just have been indoors for too long. Once you know your last frost date, you can start looking at your seed packets and determine when your seeds need to be started indoors. So if you take a look on here, it'll often say, like this one right here says, for early crop seeds, start indoors 8 to 12 weeks before planting outdoors. So these are my onion seeds. I am already pushing my dates with this, but I would rather start them indoors and give them a shot than to not do it at all this year. But this is one that I need to get started right away, because what you're going to do is take the last frost date and you're just going to backtrack. I think it's the easiest if you just grab a calendar and you're just going to go back week by week until you get to that start date. And you can actually just take notes right on your calendar and say, I need to start onions on this date, and on this date I need to start my cabbage, and so forth. And so it's easy to just take a look at that and see. Another thing that you want to consider doing is not planting everything all at the same time. So if you want your produce to come in more spontaneously or spread out, you're going to want to start your seeds a little bit spread out as well. So you're not going to want to put everything into the ground right at the exact same time. You might plant some one week and then wait another week to put some more in, so that when it comes time for harvest, everything's not coming in at the exact same time. Now on the flip side of that, you might want everything to come in at the same time because you're going to can or put away things for the winter. In that case, you want to plant a lot of things so that you have plenty to harvest at once, because it gets really frustrating if you get a handful of beans and a handful of peas and you really want to preserve them, but you don't have enough at one time to do that. So just kind of depends on what your plans are. We do both. So we do some canning, and we also want to be able to eat a lot of our produce in the moment. So I need to do both of those things. I plant a lot of them and I space them out. There's a lot of different ways that you can start your seeds. You can just use containers that you have left over from food products that you've purchased, or you could run to the store and grab like a seed tray that has lots of little spots in it for you to fill with soil and then plant. We picked up last year a soil blocking tool that looks like this, and this is a handy little guy. Inside of here, you just fill this with the soil. You want it to be moist and damp already, but it's going to fill inside of here, and it puts a little dimple inside, and that is where the seeds go. It makes it really simple and efficient. We had really great luck using that, so we are excited to put this to work again this year.
Should enjoy the fruits of life instead of chasing coins. Because it's a beautiful day. Isn't it so come on, let's play.
Ready to go. We're gonna go place them into our south-facing window, and Ben has created these really cool plant shelves for me in there that hang. I will actually link you to that video as well if you want to check out how he made those for me. But we are going to create kind of like a greenhouse type of an environment and put a lid over top of our trays just until the second set of leaves start to grow. And then we want to open them up and give it some airflow so that we don't cause mold issues and fungus. Once they have their second set of leaves, then we're going to try to start mimicking the outdoors by putting a fan on them and blowing some air. We will actually open the windows periodically and get them acclimated to the outdoors prior to us taking them outside. So we hope that you will give this a try this year, get your seeds started indoors, save yourself some money and some frustration from not being able to find the plants that you're looking for. But we wish you all of the best, and we will see you in the next one.